life, brother.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Alice fans don't know what these are.
Gets it, Saquon Barkley. First down. Barkley. Oh! Saquon. E-A-G-L-E-S-G. Go Birds, baby!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Under the Wing podcast. Welcome to our guest, Justin Fiorillo.
What's going on,
It's
guys?
sad
What's
week,
going
guys.
on? Oh, I'm it's sad demeanor, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to be on the podcast with y'all. You guys are doing a great job with the show, but I wish we were here under better circumstances, obviously.
Yes, definitely. Well, let's get right into it. Tonight, got a jam-packed episode. Trying to make it a little quicker, get a little better with some things. We're going to talk about the wild Week 4 games that happened. Trying something new tonight also. Got something coming your way. We're going to talk about the playoff picture and talk about the games this week that really do affect the playoff picture and how things could look after next week. And he's got a question for you. I got a bold take for you. And then, towards the end, we're going to dive into what in the heck is going on in Philadelphia. But first, let's get into the Week 14's wildest games. Really quickly, though, I want to bring you this. This is our Under the Wings best plays of Week 14.
25 today, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's pressured. He's got a ton of room. There goes Josh Allen through the snow into the end zone. Touchdown Bills. 40.
Myles Garrett, no thank you.
Ward's under some pressure, and he stays up and gets rid of the football. Great.
ABC, ESPN, and the ESPN app. Barkley, first down, goodbye. Eagles on top, no flags.
This is gigantic. 2nd and 10. Montgomery breaking tackles. Inside the 10, he goes to the end zone for the touchdown.
A.J. Cole punting to Mims. It's a short punt. Mims a running start at the 48. And able to break free. Marvin Mims calling out blockers inside the 20. Touchdown.
From the 35, extra lineman in, and there goes Tony Pollard. And Pollard up across the 45 and across midfield. What a block downfield. Pollard still going. Unbelievable run. He's going to take it to the house for a touchdown, Titans. From the 33. Oh, my goodness. Look out here. Christian Benford. Gift wrap the other way. Touchdown.
You know, it's their opportunity to come out here in the second half and start to eliminate the reasons why there's concern over this offense. But we're seeing a lot of the same things we've seen the last few weeks.
And here's Rashid Shaheed. Big special teams play. Breaking free, and Shaheed all the way to the house. No flags.
Wow.
Wow, I wish we can get some kickoff returns like that for the Eagles. I mean, I know we got Britton Covey back, but I mean, he's solid. He's not fumbling or nothing. But I'm saying, like, when's the last time we remember a big special teams play on the Eagles? You know?
Oh man, I mean, I remember. What was that, Bigsby? That was a pretty big play, right?
I guess, yeah.
Dropping the ball, was that Bigsby?
Yeah, but gone are the days of Deshaun Jackson back there, man. When he used, or Darren Sproles, better yet.
This season, fumbling in the,
I don't know,
special teams.
Yeah, but that last play you just showed just reminded me of that. So we got to get more big plays on special teams.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Britton Covey looked like pretty nice last.
Yeah, no, he's solid. He's solid. I just want to see him take it to the house one time.
Yeah, I mean, specifically last night, he's looked a lot more solid than from what I've seen from him in the past. Like, specifically, like, that was a nice game for him.
Yeah.
Like, he had a few returns where he turned really nothing into something, like, 30, 40-yard return.
And you saw we got rid of Taj Gibson, Mr. Fumbler himself.
That's who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But getting into it, first game wanted to talk about this weekend was the very first game that happened. The Cowboys went to the Lions, the two Thanksgiving teams. Seems like it happens every year one of these two teams always plays the Thursday after Thanksgiving. And this year it happens to be both of the teams that hosted games on Thanksgiving, the Lions and the Cowboys. Lions hosted the game, and we saw just how good the Lions are still, even though their record doesn't show it. The Lions put up 44 points. I mean, Dallas's defense is horrible, and we know this. And as an Eagles fan, it sucks because we can say that, and we only put up 21 points on them. But Dallas defense is terrible, and the Lions just had their way. Jahmyr Gibbs, if running backs had like their own MVP awards, I think Jahmyr Gibbs instead of Jonathan Taylor would become the MVP this year because out of the backfield, catching the ball, he's just dominant, and even running the ball, he's dominant.
Yeah. Well, the NFL to me, man, just doesn't make sense because we beat the Chiefs this year. We beaten the Cowboys already, and the Cowboys beat us this year, and they beat the Chiefs, the two teams from the Super Bowl last year. We've beaten the Lions this year, and the Cowboys have beaten us, and then they lose to the Lions. Like, you just play this game where it goes all back and forth. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. But you're right. It's like the Cowboys defense sucks. That game was really, as an Eagles fan, it was awesome to see them lose. But it was. Which Detroit Lions team is going to show up in the playoffs? The one that scored 9 points against us, or the one that scored 40-something points against Dallas? So we'll see.
Yeah. And then second one, wanted to talk about the Ravens and the Steelers. The Ravens got hosed. The Ravens, in my opinion, I've watched the play over and over and over again. I didn't watch it in real time. I was doing stuff, but when I saw the highlights, that was a touchdown. The Ravens and Isaiah Likely got hosed. Yeah. They got hosed really badly. And at one point, I believe it was either like 14-0, 17-3, like something to where like the Steelers had a pretty decent lead, and the Ravens almost came back from that. So it's going to be interesting to see because we'll get into it in a little bit. The Ravens play the Bengals later this week, and then I think either next week or the week after, coming up again, they play the Steelers again. And these two are the two teams that are going to – one of these two teams is going to win the NFC North. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the Ravens can bounce back from this or if, like, the struggling from Lamar is going to continue. I know he got hurt, so it very well just could be he's still hurt and they're trying to rush him back too early. But they've got to figure out something because unfortunately with the football season, it's like you wait like half a year. Like you wait like 6-7 months, right? Get to August, you're like, all right, preseason's coming on. December, we got 4 weeks left. So football season goes quick. And if you're not playing your best every week, you fall behind so quick.
Oh, yeah.
So the Ravens have a lot of work to do, and the Steelers kind of broke out of a slump this week. So can they continue it into next week, or are they going to kind of just
I'm shocked that they won because after their loss against Buffalo the week before, I did not see Pittsburgh coming back and beating their rival, the Ravens, they were making this big comeback. They started out 1-5 or whatever. Lamar Jackson comes back. They're making the whole comeback, the whole 9 yards. And then they lose to the Steelers who had their heart taken out against Buffalo. So it doesn't make sense to me. The Steelers cannot have a losing season. It's not in their blood, I guess. No matter what, Mike Tomlin is going to have that team be 500 or above come hell or high water, but I don't trust the Steelers. I don't think anybody really does. But yeah, that was a crazy game too. Yeah.
We got the Bills and the Bengals, and I know Joe Burrow threw 2 interceptions. I know one of them got returned for a pick, like we saw in the highlight reel. But this is just this is the one thing I feel like I predicted, and we predicted here on Under the Wing that has actually gone our way this year is. No matter what, no matter how good the Bengals offense is, their defense still finds a way to lose the game. So take away that pick 6. So it's 39 minus 6. Or I don't know if they got the extra point. So we'll just say 6. 34-33. So still close game. They would have won. But you got to do better as a defense. You can't be giving up 30-plus points a game and expect your team's going to win. It's not going to happen. And as far as Joe Burrow goes, he doesn't look like he's missed a beat. I mean, yeah, that pick was bad. Both picks were bad, but he came right back and is showing us why he is still one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And if I was him, I would want to get out of Cincinnati as fast as I can because they're not going to do anything to help him defensively, and he's not going to be able to carry his team all year.
Interesting. Yeah. And their defense, the Bengals defense has been bad, not just this year or the year before, but for many years now. They have not had a defense and it's been holding them back. I mean, it was their Achilles heel even in their Super Bowl year. I mean, they had a decent defense, but it was that offense that year. So, yeah, they need help out there. And if I'm Joe Burrow, of course I want to get the hell out of Cincinnati. You're right. I mean, why would I want to be there when that's where quarterbacks go to die? So, they need to either get him a serious help and get defensive help and offensive line help and all that, or yeah, it's gonna be rough. I mean, you're playing in a tough division out there.
Yeah, it looks like we already have opposing fans rating our chats. It seems.
Oh boy, what did they write?
The Go Patriots.
Just a nice, healthy Go Patriots. Look, okay.
Yeah, well, they're having a good year. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's a good year. I can't hate on him. I like Drake May. He seems to be pretty cool on and off the field. No Tom Brady, no Gronk, no Belichick. I don't really have a reason to hate the Patriots.
No.
Other than my brother-in-law talking about them every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, look, you can celebrate your Patriots. I mean,
41-33, go Birds.
Yeah. Nick Foles.
Anyway,
Nick Foles.
we had a big NFC North matchup this week, and the Packers won, but it could have gone either way. Yeah. It was a good game back and forth. The Bears actually tried to do the same play that they beat us on, that they beat Blankenship on that bootleg play action. They tried to do that, and instead of it working, they got picked off in the end zone on a 4th down to lose the game.
Yep.
So can the Bears overcome it? I think so. Are the Bears going to be a problem in the playoffs? I think so. But the big thing with these two teams is the NFC North is going through one of these two teams. I think the Lions, they're 8-5 now, I believe. But I think
right, yeah.
I think they're too far behind. With 4 games to go, I don't see the Bears and Packers both losing 2 or 3 games. I don't know if either of them have to play. Well, no, the Packers don't have to play the Lions anymore. The Packers swept the Lions. So yeah. I think it's fair to say that unless the Packers fall apart, which I really don't think they will, unless the Packers fall apart, Lions aren't winning the division. So in week 16, 2 weeks from now, we're going to see a Bears-Packers game in Chicago, and that's going to tell us a lot. That's going to tell us a lot. It's going to tell us who is going to win that division, I believe. And I think the Bears are going to be ready, but this week was a good test for them just to see, okay, we beat the defending Super Bowl champions. We went in there, held our own against Green Bay in Green Bay, and dare I say, Caleb Williams, we were wrong.
Yeah. Well, it certainly looks pretty solid this year, and the Ben Johnson offense is incredible. And I'll tell you what, though, since the Bears beat us, I was happy as hell to see them actually lose, man. Like and get to lose to the Packers. I was going back into my Instagram comments and finding little fights with Bears fans that were writing like bear down and shit on some of my posts, and I was like writing back, and I was like sending little Packers emojis and stuff like that. I was, and then of course my freaking team dropped the ball, so like then they start writing me and you're like Jalen Hurts sucks and all that. I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. But I was happy that the Bears lost, but I mean, to kind of talk about them, long term, do we trust the Bears? Who's going to win the North and all that? It's going to be close. Do you trust any of the teams in the North? I don't know. I think right now we have enough problems for our own team to worry about, but of course the Rams are a big threat. You can't deny Detroit, even though we shut them down when we played them. They just scored 40-something points this week, so Detroit's always going to hover around, and we lost to Chicago. So I mean. And when we played the Packers, we beat the Packers, but we only won by 3 points. So, I mean, it was a close game. So, all these teams, everybody in the NFC, it's a toss-up, man. It's close. AFC this year, no Chiefs. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but the guy was a Patriots fan, right? And if you're a Patriots fan, this is your chance because you don't have Patrick Mahomes maybe in the playoffs this year. So, take advantage of that. But NFC is kind of crazy. It's very deep in the NFC.
Yeah, well, actually, good of you talking about Patrick Mahomes because that was the next one I wanted to go to.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Monday Night Football. The Texans beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, are the Chiefs in trouble.
Yeah.
And you know what? Before we get into later in the show and talking about Jalen's 4 interceptions, you know what? Patrick Mahomes had 3. So bite me. Anyway, the Chiefs, they just haven't looked like themselves this year. And whatever it may be, whether it was getting kicked to the curb in the Super Bowl or just the way the season's gone with injuries and players not being available, whatever it is, they're a good team. Like Patrick Mahomes is still a really good player, and I do expect them to fight until the end. I don't expect it to just be a rollover and die, but the Texans, I think this says a lot more about the Texans than it does about the Chiefs. I know the Chiefs had that boneheaded Andy Reid, like first time he'd ever called a 4th down play inside of his own, like 40, like he was on his side of the field, a 4th and 2, and they didn't get it. Like that's a bad coaching decision, but when you're 6-6, you have to make that call because your life depends on it right now. You know, you're 3rd in your division, nowhere near where you thought you were going to be. You've got the Broncos who are going to end up probably being the 1 seed in your division. And then you've got the Chargers who are looking like they're going to be a wild card team. So you have to do whatever you can to try and fight and claw and catch back up. And that didn't work. But on the other side, you've got the Texans who the Colts are free falling in your division. You beat the Colts. You've got the Jaguars coming up in a couple weeks. So that's going to be interesting to see whether the Texans defense, do you think the Texans defense can hang on and continue to play the way they've been playing? And I think right now they're one of the, if not the best, one of the best defensive units in the league.
Yeah, I would say yes, because if you can go.
Oh no.
I think that game was in Kansas City, right? When they went to Arrowhead. Yeah, if you go to Arrowhead and beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who are desperate as hell to get a win, why can't you beat anybody else in the NFL? I mean, if you have the defensive blueprint, D'Amico Ryans has that team just playing, just locked in right now. I mean, you know, why not? I mean, CJ Stroud's playing solid. I mean, the team is, you know, they're playing with house money right now. They're a solid team. They're young, and you know, they in the AFC. If I'm a Patriots fan, if I'm a Bills fan, if I'm all these other teams, I would be concerned about the Texans.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Texans, after starting, I think it was like 1-3 or 0-3.
Yeah, they had a rough start, something like that.
They had a really rough start and they just bounced back. We're gonna move on. We'll move on to the playoff picture and all that. We'll talk about the last game of Week 14 in a little bit, but we're gonna talk about the playoff picture and kind of how it affects some of the matches this week. So right now, the 2-1 seeds are the Denver Broncos and the LA Rams. The Broncos this week, I believe, play. Hold on. Do I have them on my list of games? No, I don't have them on my list of games. So the Broncos play somebody that they should beat because I don't have them on my list of games, and it doesn't really affect the other team if they don't win or not. But if the Broncos win, they stay the number 1 seed. But hairline is cooked. Thanks, brother. It's because I was wearing a hat. You know, it's pushed all back.
Wow. Hey, come on, man.
But
he couldn't wear the Eagles logo on his head.
Yeah, I can't wear the birds right now.
He actually did say that.
Boycotting.
He did actually say that. He put the hat on before we went live, and he was like, "You know what? Eagles don't deserve for me to wear this hat." Yeah. So, all right.
And so right now in the AFC, the number 2 seeds the Patriots. The number 7 seed is the Chargers, and that's who they'd play. So we see the Bills host the Bills go to the Patriots this week. So the Patriots, they beat them in Buffalo. They welcome the Bills in. This should be a big game for the Patriots. If they can win this one, they'll stay the 2 seed. If the Broncos, slip up and fall, they can move up to the 1 seed.
Oh, look. He said he's sorry and that you're handsome.
Oh, thanks. But yeah, it's gonna be a difficult game for the Bills and the Patriots. I think Josh Allen's experience here plays a little bit of a factor. He knows what he has to do. We saw last week he was able to lock down after they were down big, and he was able to kind of come back and continue to do what he needed to do and stay clutch. I think this is going to be a good game for the Bills. I think that they're gonna want their get back because they have to go to Foxborough. They got beat early in the season. They kind of got punched in the mouth by the Patriots, and it's like, whoa, like that's not what we were expecting. Like we didn't think you guys were going to be that good, and you are. And the Patriots defense is legit. Like they're another one. It's like these AFC teams have some really, really good defenses. So it's going to be interesting to see that matchup. And then the Bills, technically, they're the 6th seed, so they would be playing Jacksonville if the playoffs were to start today. So, they would be playing Jacksonville if the playoffs started today. So that would be interesting. That would be interesting to see. Jacksonville against the Jacksonville against the Bills. And who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? I know I didn't guess it, but in the end of it, that the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence, with 4 weeks left, would be leading the AFC South and have a chance to be the 3 seed in the AFC playoffs. And
then now with Daniel Jones' injury, they might be able to continue that. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the 4 seed Pittsburgh Steelers, because they're leading their division at a measly 7-6, they would be hosting the Houston Texans in what surely would be a Texans' favorite game. But so far in the AFC, what do you guys think? Like, do you think it'll stay the same? Do you think anything is up to change? Do you think potentially the Texans could catch the Jaguars, or the Colts could magically, with the signing of Phillip Rivers, could magically make a comeback?
Well, yeah, how about that? 65-year-old Phillip Rivers making a freaking comeback. That's unbelievable. He should maybe focus on his 12 kids that he has right now instead of focusing on trying to save the Colts season. But
he's got to support, man. He's got to feed him.
Yeah, true. I guess that paycheck, you gotta get that paycheck, whatever you got to do. But look, I mean, when it comes to the AFC, if this is the question you're asking, like, who do I trust and whatnot, I don't really know. All I know is I have the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship, whether they win the game or not. I think they're going to make a big run, and I know we saw firsthand that they beat the Eagles. They beat the Eagles earlier this year, but the Denver Broncos seem like they seem to play everybody tough, and they beat a lot of quality teams. So I got the Denver Broncos making a deep playoff run, at least the AFC Championship. Maybe the Patriots, but see, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just Patriots strength of schedule has not been that impressive, but they beat everybody. So I still think if they can just get in, they're healthy and whatnot, the Buffalo Bills are still like, this is still supposed to be like Josh Allen's prime, like this is it, especially with no Patrick Mahomes. Like we've said, if the Chiefs continue to not make the playoffs like they're trending, then the AFC is open for like, the best teams with the best quarterbacks. And Josh Allen is probably one of the best quarterbacks remaining if there's no Mahomes. So we'll
now,
see.
You did mention, you said the Broncos, you think they're going to be good. The way they've been playing in the fourth quarter, like they've always had to kind of come back. Do you think that's something, I feel like I ask this every week, is that something that you see as sustainable for the rest of the season in the playoffs?
Probably not, because like we saw with our team, like at some point when you're playing a style of play, like on our offense, like it catches up to you. So like probably not if they have to come back, in like some of these recent games and win them towards the end and whatnot. Although on the contrary, I guess it's how you look at the glass half full, glass half empty. It's perspective, right? I mean, you could also say they're battle tested, a clutch team. Like they'll play you close, they might not blow you away, but when it comes down to a one possession game or last second whatever, they're the team that always comes through. So it's like, can it be sustained? Well, they're winning games doing it like that. So I don't know. I mean, people used to say, could we make a playoff run playing how we were playing? And we used to sometimes say yes, because it's like, well, yeah, we beat the Packers and we beat the Lions playing like that with pretty poor offense and great defense. So there's a formula that you could win games like that with, but we saw just caught up to us and now we're losing games. So eventually it will catch up to the Broncos, but I do think they're a really solid team. And I don't think it's necessarily a fluke that they beat us like that. I think they're actually really, really solid, especially on defense, really on defense mostly, because Bo Nix isn't going to blow you away or nothing like that, but he's all right. But it's their defense that's scary. Yeah.
Battle tested, you lost to Captain Hook. I don't know what that means. I guess they're making fun of the fact that we lost to One Hand Herbert. But let's see. So the Denver Broncos. I want your perspective on this. Of the AFC teams, who do you trust the most as far as who could win it all in the AFC?
Just AFC collaborated.
Yeah, of the teams that I just give that are in the playoff picture so far, right now. So, like, you can't just go, oh, Patrick Mahomes is going to get in the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, because we don't want to hear that.
Yeah. Well, I guess Denver. I was on the Denver train, whatever, so I could see them.
I mean, I think Patriots are the most proven in the AFC right now. I don't know. They're scary. I kind of thought that they would have some traction, but I don't know if anybody fully expected them to, wind up the punch this hard. And I think, like, the Broncos, they're good. Don't get me wrong. Bo Nix is going out there and he's playing the clutch battle, where it's almost like a challenge, like, how much can I come back from? And they're riding by the skin of their teeth, and they're going to hit a team that, and for some reason they haven't really, but they're going to hit a team that's going to be like, kind of knock them on the rear end to kind of prove that, you guys aren't as tough as you seem to be. And I think out of the AFC, the team that can do that the most to almost anybody in the league right now is the New England Patriots. So I think that's the most battle ready. That's the most Super Bowl ready. And that's who I think we're most likely to see in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
My backup option would be the Buffalo Bills. If I wasn't going to go Denver, it would be the Bills because of one reason and one reason only: Josh Allen. I mean, you know what I mean? If Josh Allen steps up and has his Matthew Stafford 2021 Rams run where he lead, that's his moment, right? Like, that's his year. There's been plenty of those years in NFL history where it's that time for the quarterback. Is this Josh Allen's year?
Can we get the 1 seed?
I don't think so right now.
I don't think so, actually.
It's not happening.
I'm
not going to sit here and pepper talk you and sweet mouth you. It's not going to happen.
That would require, if the Eagles to get the 1 seed would require the Eagles to win their next 4 games, be 12-5. Then you would need the Rams to lose at least 2 games, be 12-5. Then you would need the Packers to lose 2 games, be 11-5-1, and then you would need the Bears to lose 2 games and also be you need the Bears to lose 2 games and be 11-6.
Well, the real comment should have been, can we still win the division at this point?
Yeah, exactly. But
very serious too.
It's a good kind of segue into the NFC side of things. Anthony Rojas. No, this is not a daycare unless you want us to take care of you. You can come sit a while and enjoy the show. 10-3 Los Angeles Rams right now. They sitting at the number 1 seed bye week. So it would be the 9-3-1 Green Bay Packers hosting the 9-4 Chicago Bears. That's the 2 versus 7 seed matchup. And like we highlighted, that was a great game last week. They come up again in a couple weeks on a Saturday night football game. I would be all in to see that. That would be an awesome game. But the Eagles, we're the 3 seed right now, and that's pretty much where we're locked in. I mean, we might be able to move up to 2 because depending on how the NFC North shakes out. Just hypothetically here, say the NFC North shakes out to where the Packers win it, and the Packers end up let's say they don't lose another game, they'd be 12-3-1. Say the Rams lose 1 more, then the Eagles would be the 2 seed. But if the Rams don't lose anymore, the Packers are going to be the 2 seed, the Eagles will be the 3 seed. And as it stands right now, we would be hosting the San Francisco 49ers. And quite frankly, I don't want to see that team. Christian McCaffrey's playing out of his mind. And it's kind of scary because we forgot, he's been injured. He got injured last year and, really didn't play at all. So you kind of forget, how good Christian McCaffrey is. And I don't really watch, I'm always, busy doing stuff during, the 4:00 games. So I don't really get to see those as much. And that's a lot of what the 49ers games are on, or 4:00 games. Yeah. So it's always interesting to see that like they're still, with all these injuries that they've had, they're still a playoff team. So that would be a scary matchup for me.
Yeah, we don't really talk about the Niners much. They get overlooked. They get very overlooked.
Well, I mean, they've been the last 2 seasons. They've been kind of riddled with injuries. They're starting to have a little bit more of a playback because this season it's like, man, we're finally going to see that 49ers almost dynasty level team step back up again to the plate. And then this season they started off losing Bosa and then losing Purdy and then Brandon Ayuk, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, it's a replay.
No, we're not. And to be frank with you, Anthony, the kids that did that, it was wrong. Okay, as much as you don't like the guy, as much as you want to blame the guy, that's somebody's personal property. You don't need to be doing stuff like
that. And not to pepper talk you, that was freaking hilarious. It was wrong. Don't get me wrong. But come on, dude.
Okay, it might have been him. It might have been him.
We're gonna stand here and be like, that was it was wrong.
It was wrong.
But it was kind of funny.
If you toilet papered his house, I wouldn't have cared. But you threw. Look, it's the action of like throwing something like, because who's to say like it, because it was eggs or rocks.
If
whatever.
It was rocks, that's
if it was rock, like if you break something on his house because you throw something at his house,
then you're a moron.
Like, yeah, you're a moron. But if you throw toilet paper at his house or like throw it in his trees or something, it's just something he's got to pick up and it's hard.
You're still a moron, like, but you're less inconsiderate.
But it's funny. And it's like, okay, you're not damaging my personal property. If he's got a nice car sitting out front and you egg this car and it ruins his paint job or something, it's like, all right, like that's taking it a little too far. You know what I mean? But moving on, the number 4 seed is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 7-6, and they're just kind of getting overshadowed because they're falling off too.
Yeah.
And they would host the 10-3 Seattle Seahawks. And we would actually see a rematch of a game we saw in Seattle earlier this season when they were, what up, brother? Christopher.
Oh gosh.
He's alive and well.
The Irishman back.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, sir. But we would see a matchup that we saw earlier this season where the Buccaneers were able to walk away. But that was before they got banged up. That's before they lost Mike Evans. That's before they lost a couple other pieces. I think it would go a lot differently. And I think Seattle, as much as I want to say that Sam Darnold is like I don't know, he's a fraud. Okay. I think he is a terrible, like not terrible, but he's not a like quarterback that I trust to win me a playoff game. Even as much as I think that, and as how strongly I feel about that, I think that they would be pretty able to go into Tampa Bay and just walk away with a playoff wildcard win.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to go to Seattle and play the Seahawks.
No.
You never want to do that. But Seattle is another team. We talk about the Niners. I mean, the Seahawks, we're not talking about them, and they are a ferocious bunch. I mean, they are physical. They are just beating teams up. They are winning games. I mean, they're like, what are they, 10-3, and they're a wild card, right? That's insane. How are you 10-3? I mean, the quality of their division's insane. The Rams in the same division, so I mean, they have that to worry about. The only thing is, we touched on it, is Sam Darnold. I mean, you saw last year when he was with the Vikings, he made that great run with the team, got first round of the playoffs. I'm pretty sure that he looked awful. So, do you trust Sam Darnold and the Seahawks in the playoffs? And that's the thing, is like, as Eagle fans, we should feel confident that like, if we can just get in there, which we all think and assume we obviously will, if we can just, yes, Moose, no team except us, but if we could just get in there, I feel like we have the most experience. We've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 or 5 years. We've won one. So it's like nobody in the NFC really, besides maybe the Rams, I guess, technically, like, can say that. So, we'll see.
Yeah. And I mean, the Rams were the team, like, besides us, really, the Rams were, I would say, the team to beat last year in the playoffs. They were the team that if we didn't beat the Rams, then we would probably have watched the Rams.
Playoff game was close as hell. Came down to the last drive. Remember that? Last drive.
It was closer than it was the closest game we had. And it in the snow, too. Like, honestly, they're a dome team from LA. We should have whooped up on them in the snow. Yeah. And they held up with us very, very closely. But some games. So we highlighted the Bills and Patriots game. Okay, what do we got for us, Rojas? The 2000 Eagles 8 at this point around the time Donovan McNabb got benched at halftime. Baltimore went 9-6-1, went to the NFC Championship game. Dude, Anthony, if we could see that this year, look, at this point, the way they've been playing, I'm not even thinking Super Bowl. I'm thinking, hey, if we can get past like the wild card, maybe past the divisional round, hey, I'll be happy. Because I just don't I don't want to see another like lifeless performance going to the end of the year.
Exactly.
Barely,
this isn't the birds from last year.
It's not. And I just don't want to see another lifeless performance like we saw in 2023 where they just skid on by, get into the playoffs as a wild card team, get blown out in the first round, go home. Like, I don't want to see that at all because that made me miserable as a fan. And I know it made everybody else miserable. It made the players miserable. It made everyone miserable. Now, did it boost us for last year and give us the confidence to go, you know what? Like, let's go. We've got to just stay on track and we've got a goal. And this is like the main thing. Like, and they went and they played their hearts out. But is it really worth all that? No. It's not. I don't want to see another 2023 collapse.
It's not happening. Just keeping it very disappointing. Yeah.
But so we went over the Bills and Patriots. The Chargers and Chiefs play this week. Chiefs got to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. I don't know if that's possible. I really don't. I don't know if the Chiefs will be able to win. Chargers looked. It's not even like. We'll get into it in a little bit. But we got the Colts and the Seahawks. The Colts are trying, the Colts have a rough schedule, okay? Because they play the Seahawks, they play the 49ers, they play the Jaguars, and they play the Texans to end out their season. Oof. So if you're a Colts fan, you might want to turn this off right now because you guys are not making the playoffs. For as promising as you guys looked, Jonathan Taylor got overused at the beginning of the year, and it's coming back to bite you now that your quarterback is hurt, and now that you have to put in this rookie in Riley Leonard, and potentially even bring in Phillip Rivers, who's like Justin said, 75 or whatever. Like it's just not a good look for you guys. And Seattle's defense is just insane.
Now do you think Daniel Jones is going to come back for almost be like a franchise quarterback in a sense? Do you think they're going to, give it to him?
I think he was go ahead. I was asking you, I guess. I think he was good enough to at least get one more year, but
100%.
Yeah, they did. They found him in the nursing home.
Yeah, they did.
But I don't know. He's a completely different player with this team. He has proper weapons. He has proper people around him, a proper offensive line, and it's a Daniel Jones nobody expected to see. I never thought that my starting quarterback in fantasy football would be Daniel Jones, but he's been a waiver warrior, and I think that very well. I mean, he's going to be starting for a team next year. Doesn't really matter. You don't think so?
I don't know if he's going to play.
Daniel Jones. I mean, after how he started this year, if the Colts don't bring him back, I think he's proved he would get an opportunity.
He blew his Achilles out. How long? Isn't that like a year-long injury recovery and all that?
It's a while. Yeah, I mean,
is he going to play next year? Like that's. It's not that he can't, and I really think like he can. Like no matter where he goes, I think he'll stay with the Colts. But I don't know if we'll actually get to see Daniel Jones next year because he blew out his Achilles so late in the year.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That's where it's like he proved to us that, hey, like he's not as bad as we thought he was. And I think that's part of the New York effect.
Yeah.
But hey, who's to see? But a big game at 4:25. We got some good games, and I'm really excited because towards the end of the year, all these games become so good, like playoff matchups. This one is a potential Super Bowl matchup. The Packers travel to Denver to play the Broncos. It's just going to be an amazing game. Now, I think personally the Packers are going to I've seen the Packers in the bigger games this year. Other than the Eagles game, in the biggest games, like their offense and defense have showed up. Now, their defense showed up against the Eagles. Their offense just didn't. And I think that's partially just because the Eagles' defense was so good. But I think as long as they can give Jordan Love more than a second to throw the ball, as long as they can contain that Denver defensive line, Denver's secondary is not the best. Pat Surtain's good, but outside of him, like it's not like nothing special in my opinion, nothing to write home about. So I think the Packers could potentially go in there and pull off an upset. I don't know how you guys feel, but I could see a Packers upset this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they could, especially because, the theme we were talking about, the Denver's going to catch up to them eventually, could catch up to them this week. So I could totally see it happening. And every team needs a good, solid loss before you go into the playoffs, I think, to humble yourself and get yourself ready for the playoffs. So, yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, do the Packers, they need that game a little more, right? Like just in playoff standings and all that. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you factor all those things in, and I could totally see the Packers pulling it off. They're a great team. They took when we were playing a lot better. They took us to only a 3-point game. So I mean, yeah, they could totally beat the Broncos. Do I think they're going to beat them? You know what? I'll go with yeah. I kind of like that pick this week.
Yeah,
I think it's time. I think it's time. Even though I'm saying Denver for everything, I think this week I'll pick the Packers in that game. I like that pick actually. Yeah.
All right. Then what could be what honestly could be, dare I say, an NFC Championship preview.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, right now the Lions aren't even in playoff position. They're in the hunt. But I think it'll change. The Lions go to LA to play the Rams.
Oh, wow.
The Lions need this one bad, and the way they're playing, I think they can win. I got a team here picking the road teams right now. But I think the Lions can really go in here and show everybody why, like, you know what? This year hasn't been our year so far, but we've kind of figured out what's working for us. And like I was saying about Jahmyr Gibbs, if you can just get him the ball, like, not even in the run game so much. Like, hitting him out of the backfield has worked so well for the Lions this year. He is just like you can just see it on TV, like how fast he is. And it's like, he is like 2 steps ahead of anybody else on the field. It is insane. And that is going to be their key to winning this football game. But the downside is their secondary is still banged up. And Puka Nacua is on the other side of the field with Matthew Stafford. And don't forget about Devontae Adams. So this one's got the potential to be a beautiful shootout game. I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago. Honestly, it was probably, like 4 or 5 years ago at this point when it was like, might have been Drew Brees' like last year or second to last year. It was the Saints and the 49ers had like a 48-48 drag out fight to like the very end when like the Niners kicked the field goal and won. Like, it's going to be one of those games. Like, it's going to be shot for shot, blow for blow. Like, it's going to be a beautiful, big game. And I'm excited for it. If I'm rooting for anybody, I got to root for the Lions. Like, if you're an Eagles fan, you got to root for the Lions because playoff positioning.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts on that one.
Yeah, I mean, well, they have some recent history together. I know it wasn't it last year in the playoffs. The Lions beat the Rams to knock them out. I'm pretty sure.
We beat the Rams to knock them out. The Commanders beat the Lions.
The year before then, or what? The Rams and the Lions have a lot of recent beef with each other. I know it's the Matthew Stafford kind of bull because he was on the Lions and he went to the Rams, but I'm pretty sure. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? They played each other.
It might have been 2 years ago. It might have been 2 years ago.
2 years ago. That's
the
what
Rams.
it was.
Yeah, the Rams went to because I think that might have been Stafford's first game back. I might be wrong about that.
They played him like week 17 or 18 in the regular season, and like the Rams and the Lions played each other, and then in the playoffs in the first round they played each other.
Game, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
So, and the Lions won. So I think to your point, I think the Lions can totally go in and beat the Rams. I mean, it's the NFL, man. It's so weird. It's like anybody can beat literally anybody. Like, but in this matchup specifically, totally could see that happening. But I don't know, man. Rams are really good. So we'll see.
Yeah. If you're an Eagles fan, this next one you gotta pay attention to, even if you don't want to.
Yep.
Sunday Night Football, the Vikings at the Cowboys, and I already know where this is going to go. I already know how this is going to turn out, and I hate to say it, but Dallas is going to smoke them.
I don't know about smoke them, but
they're going to smoke them.
I know Dallas is going to beat them.
Dallas is going to win. Dallas is like, dude, Dallas is like at home versus Dallas on the road are two different teams. Dallas on the road, is an incompetent football team that can't do anything. They scored 30 points last week, but they were down big. It wasn't like it was a close game at all ever. But at home for some reason, I don't know if it's the crowd. I don't know if it's just you're sleeping in your own bed. I don't know what it is. But if the Vikings could do us a solid, we're sorry for beating you early this year. We're sorry for having A.J. Brown having a big game against you. We're sorry for making fun of you for Carson Wentz. If you could just help us out one time and beat the Cowboys, knock them completely out of the race, that would be huge for us because the way we're playing, we need it. But more importantly, Dallas is catching up. So anything to just knock them out of their rhythm, anything is big for us right now. And unfortunately, I don't think the Vikings will win. I really don't, but I'm hoping.
Well, look, if the Cowboys lose out and we lose out, we win the division. So just keep losing, Cowboys, and we don't have to worry about our own problems. So until the playoffs,
right?
Yeah.
Well, then we got to worry about. Trust me.
Got the one more, just a kind of interesting game, to me. So on Monday Night Football, Dolphins Steelers. Now this is interesting. Oh wait, hold on. What are we saying? Can't even imagine this, but the Cowboys are closing in. It's the Birds' fault. Birds need to figure this out quick. Yeah, we're gonna get to the Birds in just 1 second, Moose. So stick around, dude. The Dolphins. How many weeks ago was it that we were all sitting here talking about, or at least I know me and him were sitting here talking about Mike McDaniel's going to get fired. Tua looks trash. This Dolphins team looks horrible. And somehow, some way, by who knows what happened, the Dolphins are 6-7, and they're not completely out of the playoff race just yet. And this is going to be a huge game, a huge test, because the Steelers, coming off the big win against the Ravens, they get a little extra day of rest. Are they going to be able to continue and kind of build off that win, or are we just going to see the Steelers we've been seeing previously? They're kind of slipping through games and for the most part, just getting dominated.
Yeah, I'll agree with the Moose there. I think the Steelers should win. I think they will win. But it's totally a Steelers thing, right, that we can all imagine and close our eyes and see them losing this game because that's what they do. They go, they win, they lose, they win, they lose. They play left, right, left, right. They play Army football. They go left, right, left, right. I mean, it's crazy. So it's just what they do. So I could totally see them dropping it, but they should win. I mean, the Steelers should win. They need to win. I mean, yeah, so what? They beat the Ravens. I mean, they still have to finish the job here, or the Ravens will just catch right up to them and win this division at the end of the season. So they got to keep the pedal to the metal, and I think the Steelers will handle their business, and then maybe it's the other games at the end of the season they'll start dropping. But they should beat the Dolphins.
Yeah. Well, time to get to what everybody wants to talk about. Actually, we know. We have an intermission. You have a question for us?
No. Okay. See,
what's going on?
We kind of touched on this a little bit. All right. And at any other point in the season, they ask you, who's going to be in the Super Bowl? It's Eagles. Oh, the Birds. The Birds are the best. The Birds, they're a little rocky this week, but they'll show up in the playoffs. This loss was a devastating loss. Devastating. We didn't get blown out. And quite frankly, the scoreboard, it didn't reflect just how bad our offense looked. I mean, we have one of the best defenses in the league, the best in my opinion. So after looking at the Chargers game and the decline and the drop off of the Eagles stock, who are your Super Bowl contenders? I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but with such an unexpected season, so tight, so close, I mean, people getting dropped out of the playoffs, in the playoffs, up and down. Who are your Super Bowl contenders for this year? Joseph?
So, my who do I think the two teams in the Super Bowl will be?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it pains me to say this. Well, it doesn't really pain me to say this. So I was talking to somebody about this earlier, and I was like, I floated out the idea like, oh, the Packers, but I still think Jordan Love is just a little too inconsistent for me. So I'm gonna go with this safer pick. I'm gonna say I really do think it's the Rams. It's the Rams conference to lose. It really is. It's the LA Rams conference to lose. And as far as the AFC is concerned, dare I say it? You know what? I'm going to say it. I think the Houston Texans. And here's why.
Oh, I like that.
I think their defense, they've caught on fire. And it's kind of what we saw. I get their offense is nowhere near as good as we were last year, as the Eagles were. But as a fan, I'm seeing the same type of thing I saw last year where, that defense, they're the real deal. And they're going to cause some issues in, just think of the confidence they have right now. So they just beat the Colts a couple weeks ago. That was that was the best team in the NFL for how long, and they beat them. Then they just beat the Chiefs. How many? I don't know. I don't know how many more teams they need to beat for us to go, wow, this is a really good defense. But I'm saying is they just beat the Chiefs. That team was in the Super Bowl. That team's been in the Super Bowl for the last 3 years. And you just held them to 10 points. That's got to give their defense so much confidence that it's not even funny. And that's kind of why I think that the Texans are just going to continue to build and build and build and get better and better and better. And we've seen it from C.J. Stroud that he can be a solid quarterback. He's just got to figure it out, and I think he'll be okay. I think their offense will be okay because Nico Collins is a great weapon. Dalton Schultz is a great tight end. Their 2 running backs are solid. They got Nick Chubb. The Woody Marks kid is even good. So I think really the Texans are going to surprise a lot of people, and I think they could come out on top in the AFC.
Yeah, definitely. Look, a lot of belief in the Texans, and I definitely like their defense. How about this for? I'll throw this at everybody. How about an all LA Super Bowl? LA Chargers, LA Rams. I mean, we just look. I mean, now listen. Half of you going to laugh, and I know someone's already going to write in the comments, and they're going to write something to hate on this, but I still, you know where I'm going with this. I still believe that our Philadelphia Eagles can make a run. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but it's I feel like it's almost like we can get almost like we're being hustled right now. Not like they're doing this on purpose, but we can see something totally flip maybe by the time the playoffs start. And we just might not even expect it. Now, we have no evidence this year to support that, but it's just possible. And I'm just kind of going off that pipe dream that it's possible, right? That the Eagles can get their act together. If you do win the division and you have a home playoff game, I mean, that's a home playoff game. So, I mean, that's a good start. And we might not get the 1 seed, but I still think the Eagles might be able to make a run at it, dude, because our team is so talented. That's the problem, is that our coaching is holding us back, but we have so much talent. That we beat the Rams, we beat the Buccaneers, we beat the Packers, we beat the Lions. I mean, come on. I mean, we can beat anybody in the NFC. So we can actually make a run. But I'll go all A. How's that? Chargers, Rams.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one.
All LA Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California.
Oh yeah. Now, okay. For me personally, I know it's gonna be a little cliche, but picking 2 top teams. But, I mean, if you look at the beginning of the season, this isn't as cliche as, it once was. This would have been a controversial pick, very. And I think AFC-wise, I already said it. I think the Patriots are the Super Bowl contenders. I think we're going to see Patriots. I mean, if they don't make the Super Bowl, they're going to get close. They're going to lose in the championship. They got their record for a reason. And a little controversially, at least I would say, NFC-wise, I think we're going to see, the Chicago Bears. Now, and I say this because I remember the 2018 Eagles season and how magical that was. We dominated. And you look at our roster, you look at our coaching staff, nothing really seemed to reflect that. You look at the roster on paper and you're like, this team, they're the guys that go out there and they're entertaining. You know, they're not going to go and dominate. The Bears, they have traction. You know, they have a lot of momentum right now, and their fan base has been dying for this. It's been a while for them Bears. I know that, and their fans are waiting for it. And the hype around them, the build, it's going to pay off. I think we're going to see them in the Super Bowl again. You know, that's a team that could very well go and get slapped around in the wild card and lose it. But that's my guess here is
the CJGJ effect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you have a Bears Patriots Super Bowl.
Bears Patriots.
Yeah. Huh. Unbelievable.
We'll have to come back to this in February and see how we did.
Well, there's I don't know the stats around it, but there's some chance that one of us is going to be right about this. So
right?
We'll see.
Yeah. One of us has at least got to get one of them teams right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's almost over like a 65-70% chance that one of these teams probably will at least make it there. I think. I mean, probably. I mean, we have a lot of options, I think, but I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm holding out hope. You know, what's crazy is it could possibly still be like an Eagles Patriots Super Bowl in theory. Like we've had so many classic battles of those Super Bowls, and it's still possible. Yeah. It could happen actually. We just don't even talk about that. Because we don't believe in our team right now. But if they could get their act together and the Patriots keep doing their thing, I mean, imagine that. Imagine seeing seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl again, except no Tom Brady or Nick Foles this time. It'd be crazy.
Yeah. Bears, Bills, maybe. Yeah,
Bears,
maybe.
Bills would be a good one.
But Yeah.
Here
you were bringing up the Eagles. You know, Eagles.
Oh yeah.
Seems to be falling apart.
Sorry, it's not a laughing matter, but you know what's a laughing matter? You know, it wasn't a laughing matter. But you know what? Listen, Justin, I have a theory, okay? And I'm throwing him under the rug, okay? The Eagles are driving down the field last night in overtime. Everything's going smooth, everything's going well. 1st and 10. What does my wonderful buddy here say?
No.
He goes, before the ball snapped, before it's anything, he goes, interception.
You spoke it into existence. Oh, damn.
I forgot about that. I did. I called it.
So if you guys need somebody to put the blame on for last night, it is Mooner's fault. It is not Jalen Hurts' fault for throwing 4 interceptions.
Oh my god.
It's Mooner's fault.
Yeah.
You're the new Kevin Patullo, man. You're the new Kevin Patullo.
Dude, I completely forgot about that.
Blaming you for everything.
I stayed up for that game. I did. Oh gosh. I drove
dedication, man.
I drove half an hour to his house and stayed up with him and watched it. And
should have went to bed,
dude. Oh my gosh. Got home at like 12:30, fell asleep. What's the downturn? Of course, I imagine it to be like a ripple effect. It starts off, a falling apart starts with 1 or 2 small things. And as the season goes on, that grows. The morale starts to drop. The hope starts to drop. And that's when the season completely dissipates through your fingertips. It's when
the bandwagons will be hopping off soon.
Oh yeah, we'll see who the true fans are. But you see, let's just say, even though I believe this is what it was at the beginning of the season, at least. Kevin Patullo came in. What are you doing, dude? And he's been doing a little bit better. But I think the morale behind that and the negative connotation coming from the fans and the way it's been dragging everybody down. And then it turns into, now there seems to be a beef with AJ and Jalen, and Saquon isn't finding the proper gaps. And of course, this could all be rooted back into coaching. But if the only issue is Kevin Patullo, then where's the Eagles team that was earlier in the season? Of course, we had a bit of a rocky start, but we started getting traction. And as quickly as we got our traction, we lost it. And I think it's just a collaboration of everything kind of having its ripple effect. It's disgusting. I can't do it.
All right. Well, for the sake of time, give us your prediction for for Sunday? Eagles Raiders.
My prediction.
Before we get to Justin and how
Do I
he's
pull
feeling.
the Chaos Chris here?
Hey, if you want to.
Shout out to my boy Chaos Chris. I'm just kidding. Frick you, Chris. We're winning. I'm not gonna say we're losing. Of course, if we lose, I'm gonna look like a big old idiot. And not only that, I would not be remotely surprised. Sadly, you can never count on the Birds. And of course, we did lose a big game. And normally we choke in the little games in opposition. And we normally choke in the little games. It's normally where all of our Philadelphia teams seem to not be able to hold it together. They get a big head after a big win. But again, all the issues we have, we're playing the Raiders. And we're coming off of a big loss. So you go from a big loss, and now you're looking into a small team. You're going to be practicing harder. There are guys reevaluating themselves this week. What is going on with this team? And I know Jalen Hurts, after that performance, the way that he has been all throughout his college and NFL career, he's going to be hammering on himself and, drawing in his accuracy. The Moose prediction, oh no. I don't want to know what Moose's is yet.
I bet you just by him just writing that comment, I bet you there's a chance he goes Raiders. I bet you just he's trying to tease us with that because
Oh man.
I bet you he wants to just get the whole fan base in an uproar because look, I don't want to cut you off, but what if we lose to the Raiders? What if we lose to the freaking Raiders, dude? What if we lose? I mean,
what's your score prediction?
My score prediction is it's like we're gonna win. It's gonna be 20-13. We're going to look better.
Hey,
we're going to see some traction.
What an offense.
But I think it's going to be one of those games where the scoreboard doesn't reflect, how much we've dominated. Mm-hmm. Almost like the Chargers. I think it's going to be like, wow, that game wasn't as close as it seems. I think that –
I know. We dominated them.
I think the Raiders are going to get an early punch, and we're just going to respond harder. They're going to get ahead, and we're going to be like, look, we're not doing this again. We're not losing another one.
Can't score points.
Oh my goodness! But that's what I'm saying. 20-13, and the game is not going to, look as close as the scoreboard says.
Well, Justin, give us your thoughts on the Eagles, and then when you're done, give us your prediction for this week.
All my thoughts on the Eagles are all negative, angry, and depressed. But I'll give you my prediction for the game. I mean, I'll go Eagles win 23-13, so they'll give them a 10-point win. So
okay, all right,
I'll go 23-13. Eagles right now, man. It's 2023 all over again. It has the feeling of the writing on the wall. Brian Johnson 2023, Kevin Patullo 2025. Yeah, you lose against the 49ers, the big dominance on the sideline of 2023, and you go on a losing streak. They take your heart, and you go on a losing streak. 2025, you lose to the Cowboys. You go on a losing streak. They take your heart. Both seasons, the year before, you're in the Super Bowl. So you look at all these similarities, and it feels like 2023 all over again. What happened in 2023? We got into the playoffs. We got bounced in the wild card round by Tampa Bay. So it's what we're kind of headed towards right now. Unless they get their act together and in these last 4 games show us something that shows us promise, shows us belief, shows us that we can go to LA and beat the Rams, go to Green Bay and beat the Packers again. Go and beat these tough teams, because right now I have no belief they can do that, and I don't think any honest Eagle fan really thinks that they can do that right now. We're just, like you said, Joey, like we're just thinking if we can just win a couple playoff games and get a little bit of positivity, late in January in the city, that'd be great, right? But we're not even thinking about like, hey, we're world champions, like we're supposed to win the Super Bowl again, but we've fallen so bad that like we're just kind of like, well, if we can just get in and win some games, like I agree with you. It's like it almost feels like a victory right now, but it's like we got to remember what the ultimate goal is, and it's that we have a $200 million roster, or on offense or whatever, both, I don't know, but we spent a lot of money on this team, and they're underperforming, and they're not as hungry as they were last year. And I know there's X's and O's that are different too, but the team just is not playing the same. And hey, they got to get it fixed, and time is running out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can't seem to figure it out either. I mean, we thought BG was going to be the savior. We thought that of course, what's his name? Jair Alexander was gonna, he's gonna really step it up here, and just a lot of downturn.
Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff this year. You had the guys, Darius Smith retired in the middle of the season. Injuries, Lane Johnson. And that's another thing is like we didn't really touch on it today, but the Lane Johnson injury. All these podcasts, all the shows, they always bring up the stats. I don't know the exact numbers right now, but when Lane Johnson plays and when Lane Johnson doesn't play, you guys know this, right? Like, it's crazy. So, like, if Lane Johnson comes back and everybody comes back healthy and they can, like, this is like the delusional Eagles fan of me that's like, hey, we're going back to the Super Bowl this year. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, but it's like I can't until it actually happens. But like this is what I was just saying a few minutes ago. Like it just feels like 2023, where we all know what's going to happen here in a few weeks. We're getting bounced in like the first round. Like it feels like that. But hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong.
Well,
what's your prediction?
What you got?
How do you
What you
feel
got?
about the Eagles? And when you're done, you could hit us with your hot take.
so look, I'm gonna be a realist here. I wanted to come on tonight, and I wanted to be like so look. I listened to WIP earlier, and I listened to Hugh Douglas, and he was like, yeah, like the 7 sacks yesterday, this, that, the third, and you know what? He gave me some positivity, and I wanted to come on here tonight, and I wanted to be positive about the Eagles. But then I remembered, you know what? You know how I felt last night after I stayed up and watched that football game? You know how I felt as I watched this team, as I watch Jalen Hurts throw 3 interceptions, and then I watched as somehow, some way, we still were in it. We still had a fighting chance. I watched a first down get called back, a 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6 get turned into a 3rd and 16 and go, are you kidding me? This game is over. And then the most beautiful throw all night from Jalen Hurts for a first down, and I'm like, okay, we're back. We're winning the football game. All to be squandered by another interception.
Now, not to cut you off. Funny enough, okay,
It's your fault.
it seemed to me like Hurts would throw a pick and then he'd go out there, and he had some nice midfield passes. And you were like, oh, the game is alive. And then he'd throw a pick, or there'd be some momentum shift. And then he would throw a few really nice A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith passes, and we'd get a good run from Saquon. We're like, oh, we're alive. And just I don't understand how like that game was the most it was a roller coaster ride to watch. Up, down, we have a chance. Oh my gosh, we screwed it up again. Oh my goodness, we scored. Saquon, momentum shift, interception. We got the ball back. There's no way. Oh, do you know what? It's your ball again. And just it was ridiculous. But we did see some really nice riskier passes from Hurts, but some also really nice passes from Hurts that were really nice to see. I was very glad to see them, despite of his.
Unfortunately, A.J. Brown couldn't catch them half the time. That was the only problem.
A.J. Brown, that drop in the end zone was that was a game losing drop right there.
Yeah, I mean, he just catches one of those. That one will win the game, arguably.
This guy. But anyway,
we need to tighten up, dude. I don't know what to tell you. What? How many times are you going to lose before we have to figure it out? I'm not glad we lost. I'm not glad I stayed up and watched that stupid, pathetic
But
game.
Anyway, I was saying,
we got to wake up.
Like I was saying, I do want to call out. You guys did just mention. I want to call out AJ Brown because the beginning of the year, dude, like he wasn't getting his yards, he wasn't getting his catches, whatever. He was throwing fits. He was going on social media. He was doing this. He was doing that. And he was making big issues and problems. But this week, he gets his catches, he gets whatever, he drops some passes. I mean, he took accountability for it. But, dude, like, in the biggest moment, in the biggest play of the game, you had a catch. It was in your hands. I don't care. The DB didn't knock it out of your hands. You dropped it. Flat out dropped it.
What happened to AJ always open?
He was open. You flat out dropped it, though. Like,
yeah.
You want to be the best receiver in football, and you can't even make the simple catches. You flat out dropped that pass. Now, that's not saying the whole game loss is on you because Jake Elliott missed a field goal and this happened and that happened. It happens. They're a football team. Every football team makes mistakes. But this football team, they make more mistakes than they need to, and it is very, very frustrating as a fan.
We could not afford that drop.
This is what I'll say. Looking from a positivity aspect of this football team, for as bad as they played last night, for as crappy as Jalen Hurts performed, 3 interceptions, a fumble. The one didn't matter at the end. So I'm talking before. In regulation, it was 3 interceptions and a fumble. 4 turnovers in regulation. As bad as they played, they lost by 3 points. So just think.
And it was to the Chargers.
If he doesn't mess up like 1 or 2 times, if they don't have one, like if they don't miss that field goal, like it's little things. So as bad as it seems right now, as horrific, as horrendous as it seems right now, there's a few minor little things and minor little details that they can fix, and they'll be fine. Like Justin was referring to her a little bit ago, we could still see them in the Super Bowl. And in the back of my mind, it is still like, you know what? We're gonna repeat. Now, it's a very, very small little part of my brain, the little bit of brain I have. It's a very small little part. But
it's still more brain than Kevin Patullo.
Exactly. I still think there's a chance. I still think there's an opportunity. But we just, like, and I get it. We say it every week. We got to fix the mistakes. I have noticed, I've noticed that the penalties haven't been as bad since the Dallas game. They had 14 penalties in that game. The penalties have gone down. Now, at this point, it's just untimely penalties. If we can clean that up, it's going to help us a lot. Last night, what I saw from Saquon in the run game, they're getting it figured out. They're slowly but surely, and like this week is a good week to get it going. You're playing the Raiders, a bad team. It's a good week to get it going. You can run the football against that team effectively. Do it. What else we got? The passing game, I like the routes I saw across the middle of the field. Yes, I get it. Jalen Hurts couldn't hit him. But you know what? Look, the last interception to lose the game, he shouldn't have thrown that pass, but it was a phenomenal play by the defensive back.
Yeah, that's not on
9 times out of 10, I don't think that play gets made. I think it gets – I really don't. And then the throw to AJ over the middle, like, dude, you got to catch that. You're the highest paid player on our team. You've got to catch that football. But anyway, I digress. There's a lot of positives, and I know I said I wasn't going to get positive, but there is a lot of positives that they can build off of even though they lost. And I really think they will. Yeah. But as far as my prediction goes, in the spirit of chaos, Chris, 24-7 Eagles. No, I'm just kidding. 24-17, Raiders going to win. We're going to move on to my bold take.
Wow. I thought that was your bold take.
My bold take is Ashton Genty is going to run all over this football team because I think it's that part of year. It just feels like he's going to come in. He's going to go for 120-plus rushing yards on the ground. He's going to have 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry, guys. Positivity just like that shattered. No, I look.
Wow. And that's the show.
This defense, like, they've been good, but this offense has been so bad. I think they can get it figured out, and I want to say they can get it figured out. But I'm hoping that, like, this week, like, look, last week I said, oh, yeah, 31-17 Eagles. The week before that I said, oh, the Eagles are going to smoke them. So I'm trying a different approach this week. Maybe if I say the Raiders will win, the Eagles will win. I don't know. But
that's a bold take, though. I actually thought you messed up for a second. So you're going with the Raiders. The Raiders to win this week.
24-17. I think the Raiders are going to come out. I think Kenny Pickett in his revenge game is going to be a little crazy.
Revenge from what?
Wow.
Throw to nobody?
The Birds will be out.
I mean, if this is a correct prediction, Joey, then you're kind of full on. Like, this isn't even a collapse. This is a disaster at that point then. I mean, you lose 4 games in a row. You lose to the Raiders. I mean, at home again after – I was at the Black Friday game in the stands with that debacle. I can't imagine them losing another game to the Raiders like a few weeks later. How bad? I mean, the whole team will get booed out of the city. Yeah. So, wow, bold take, very bold.
Boldest of the bold.
Yeah, it's up there, but sadly, out of his bold takes, it is extremely realistic right now.
It's possible. Now, it is unfortunately possible. It's bold, but very unfortunately possible.
Yeah. No, ending that on a low note, and hopefully next time we see you, it'll be on a bit of a higher note.
Yeah.
No Eagles chant tonight, okay?
Yeah,
if you want to hear the Eagles chant, you can say it to yourself. I'm saying it in my heart. I'll be saying it. You know, I'll be saying it when we play the Raiders. But.
I'm not saying go Bird. Well, I'll say go Birds, but yeah, I'm gonna take the next few days to not think about the Eagles. Go Flyers. I think they're winning right now.
I'm gonna go in the morning. Love the Flyers though.
Justin, we appreciate you coming on. Let the people know where they can find you at.
Appreciate y'all on Instagram, Justin_Fiorillo94, and on YouTube, the Eagles Wingman. So appreciate y'all.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Go Birds, guys.
Yeah. But like we said, that's pretty much all we got for you guys tonight.
Thanks again to Justin.
Yeah, thanks to Justin.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Always fun to talk Eagles. Anytime you want me on the show, just DM me. Let me know.
Yeah, definitely. And adding to, just so we can end it with a little bit of positivity, Kyle Schwarber's back, baby.
Yeah,
Schwarber's back.
How about that? And
But,
Philly Rob, they locked up too.
Oh yeah, Philly Rob too.
I think JT Real Muto is out the door though, but
maybe. Well, he's getting old.
We shall see.
We'll see. Well, just my normal PSAs for you guys. Shout out to the 302 Birds Sixers post game show. I don't know when they'll be going live next, but they do
Probably
go live after.
Well,
I just don't know when the next Sixers game is, so just be on the lookout for that. Tomorrow night at the same time, 8:05. You've got the 302 Birds main show. Tune into that. It's really good. It's really fun. Then Thursday night, 7:05, Adam and Jesse on the Philly Sports Pulse. I'm sure they'll be going over the Eagles, Chargers, Eagles, Raiders. They'll be going over all of it. Yeah, this little logo up top here, the Philly Sports Pulse. Check them out. Go show them some love. They're great guys. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys tonight. Unfortunately, don't think we're winning on Sunday, but still, it's go Birds till I die. So go Birds. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
Oh, man.
This is for you.
Alice fans don't know what these are.
Gets it. Saquon Barkley. First down.